Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and touch upon my top 10 winter fragrances list for the year of 2017. This is the designer side. I love doing these lists, as many of you know, just because it gives me a time to kind of take stock of what I have in my collection for the winter, put away the summer fragrances, take out the winter fragrances, and go on with that. So love this time of year, and darker fragrances, the more sensual fragrances, have historically been probably my most favorite fragrances out there. So I really love doing this list. Heavier hitting scents, darker hitting scents. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing of note, I say this before all of my top 10 lists, this is my top 10 list. It's nobody else's top 10 list. It's just the fragrances that I love. So it's not the very best. It's the fragrances that I love and I am going to be wearing this coming winter. The second thing of note, for those of you who are more worldwide, what do I consider winter fragrances? Well, winter fragrances to me are fragrances that I wear generally when it's colder than roughly maybe 60 degrees, 50 degrees, and it starts going down there to the more colder side. It starts getting lower and lower into like 20 or so degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the fragrances that I generally tend to like to be a little bit on the heavier side because of the fact that if the fragrances are heavier, it's easier to smell them. And when it gets cold out there, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to smell some of the fresher smelling fragrances. Cold fragrances really carry, and they really more fit the bill of being bundled up and being cloying, at least outside, turns into sort of a good thing, all right? That's pretty much it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started into my 2017 Winter Fragrances Designer List. Now, the first fragrance we have is from the house of Bulgari. It's a newer fragrance in my collection, Bulgari Black Orient. Now, Black Orient is a fantastic fragrance. It is, again, a newer addition. I really like the spiciness that this fragrance brings out on my skin, at least. It comes off as nice and spicy, very smooth, and something that I really do enjoy. This is something that I like to wear casually and will be wearing casually, and I might mix it in at work at a couple times just because I'm starting to see it's beginning to have a little bit more of a better kind of presentation on that. So expect me to wear it in those kind of scenarios, all right? Bulgari Man's Black Orient. Now, fragrance number 9 on our list is a fragrance from the house of Chanel. It is Chanel's Allure Homme Sport. Now, I like this fragrance because it has a very nice, sharp, citrusy type of a scent to it. It has a little bit of a creaminess to it, not as creamy as its brother or sister, the Edition Blanche. It's not as creamy as that, but it still does have a nice little kind of creaminess to it. Now, I specifically like going for this one just because the vast majority of my winter fragrances are very heavy, and I like to have at least 1 or 2 in my collection that I'm going to be using during the winter that is more of the, you know, fresher kind of upbeat. This has a nice little Tonka vibe into it as well too. Just a fantastic fragrance all around, and comes in at number 9 on my winter designer list. Number 8 on my list is another fresh fragrance. This time it is a fragrance from the house of Armani. The fragrance we're talking about is Acqua di Gio Profumo. Now, Profumo is a fragrance that I had given away. I had it in my collection, gave it away, and just recently got it back in my collection. And for this reason, I like the spiciness. I think this is a much better version of the original best-selling Acqua di Gio. Think of Acqua di Gio, but it has a nice spicy tinge to it. I really like the way that it does. It comes across as sharp, sophisticated, edgy, and this is one that I will be wearing, especially to work. I go to work a lot, obviously, and then this one is one that will be a staple on that. And it's the other kind of fresher fragrance that I like kind of wearing during the winter. So this one I wear all year round, but I wanted to really call attention to Profumo this time around, all right? So number 8 on the list is Acqua di Gio Profumo. Now, number 7 on the list is a more of a replacement fragrance. It's an excellent fragrance in that, but it's from the house of Valentino. It's Valentino Uomo Intense. Now, when I say replacement fragrance, what I mean is this smells very similar to Dior Homme Intense. It kind of has the same vibe-ish. It's not the same fragrance, obviously, but they're close enough that I consider this a replacement, if you will. And I say replacement because I'm starting to use up a good amount of my Dior Homme Intense, and I don't want to have to go through the whole thing of buying it again. So because this fragrance is of that kind of same line, I'm going to go ahead and throw this into my lineup this year and wear this where I would with Dior Homme Intense. Now, I would wear this going out to a club. I would wear this going out to a bar, even though I don't really go out to clubs anymore, but bars I do. Basically social kind of drinking events, that's where I will wear Valentino Uomo Intense. And it has done absolutely fantastic so far and will continue to do so. All right, so Uomo Intense. Fragrance number 6 is yet another replacement in my collection for another fragrance that's on there. This time, it's Bentley. This is Bentley Intense. Now, Bentley Intense smells very much like another fragrance that I absolutely love, Chambre Noire from the house of Olfactive Studios. I am running dangerously low on that one, and so I've resulted to going to this just because I don't want to run out of that one and have to rebuy, although I may be forced to. But either way, this one is in my rotation for that. It's a beautiful leathery type of a scent. It's just very sensual, something that I like to wear in more intimate occasions. You know, I'm going out on a date with my wife. If I'm going out, you know, just in close kind of quarters with a bunch of people, or not a bunch of people, but a couple people, if you will, then Bentley Intense is what I'm actually going to reach for. So Bentley Intense at number 6. At number 5, we have a fragrance from the house of Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc really doesn't really get into my top 10s. So the fact that this is here, good sign. Mont Blanc Individual. Now, Individual has it has sandalwood kind of nicely mixed in it, but really that raspberry note really takes the toll for this one. It's a great casual fragrance and something that I have been reaching for more and more. And now that it's nice and cold, it does even better in the cold. Absolutely fantastic scent for that. Mont Blanc Individual running in at number 5. Number 4 on the list is a fragrance that is highly overlooked within the community. It had a brief amount of fame and then it went away. We're talking about 24 Gold. 24 Gold, you know, it's modeled after the show 24. It's, you know, it's basically a celebrity fragrance, if you will, but I'm telling you, this punches far above its weight. I would easily double this as a niche quality type of a scent. It's a fantastic scent. So if you can get your hands on it, you probably will not be disappointed. It's got resin, it's got raspberry, it's out there, it's loud, it's fantastic. I just am absolutely in love with this one, and there's a reason that is at number 4 on my list. Absolutely fantastic. A fragrance that I like to wear casually, fragrance that I like to wear, especially when I'm outdoors specifically and doing things outdoors and I want people to smell me. I reach for this one because it's strong. It's good. It's good. All right. So 24 Gold. Fragrance number 3 is yet another replacement on my list. It is from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier. It is Le Male Intense. Now, this one, again, a more recent acquisition, and I am excited to wear this one during the winter, and it is replacing my Le Male for now. Now, being completely candid, I still do like the original Le Male better than I like this one, but I'm going to give this more of a shot and a longer wearing this winter to kind of make up for it. Think of Le Male with, you know, almost like a fruity type of a vibe to it. So I can't wait to see how this one does in extended amount of times outside of, you know, what I've tested. And oh, just thinking about it has me a little bit giddy. All right, Le Male Intense. Number 2 on the list is an old fragrance. It is tried and true. It needs no introduction. It is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. We're talking about La Nuit de l'Homme. Now, La Nuit de l'Homme. Oh man, just an absolutely excellent night out fragrance. It's a great night out fragrance. It's a fragrance that you can wear for a good amount of compliments, and I still am in love with this fragrance. It just smells so good. It does it so well that, you know, I really have not much else to actually say about it. So, you know, great night out fragrance, something that I'll wear for that. La Nuit de l'Homme. And finally, heading up for number 1 on my winter designer list, we have a fragrance from the house of Thierry Mugler. The fragrance is Pure Tonka. Pure Tonka has rocketed up with my like. It seems like every time I wear it, I just like it more and more and more. In general, I'm a really big fan of the Pure line. I have most of all of the Pure fragrances, and they're just absolutely fantastic. The way that they mix the patchouli, it has kind of like a chocolatey vibe, Tonka-ish type of vibe. Obviously, Tonka is the main focus in this one, and they take a note and they kind of focus on it and surround it with the traditional Pure notes. And this one, no exception. I traditionally don't like Tonka all that much. I feel that most fragrance houses use Tonka and abuse it. This one, for some reason, just does it for me, and I absolutely love it. It is the #1 fragrance heading into the winter, and the one that I will be reaching for the most, to be honest, from the designer side at least. Fantastic fragrance. My #1 fragrance for the winter, Pure Tonka. So that concludes my top 10 list, people. I am interested in hearing what you guys are wearing from the designer side. Please leave your comments down below and let me know what you guys are into this year. I am curious, dying to hear it, and absolutely want to hear it. All right? Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.